All right, let's talk about something that, let's be honest, can feel a little intimidating for any homeowner, your HVAC system. You know, that big mysterious box that magically keeps you comfortable all year round? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and turn you from a worried homeowner into an HVAC hero who's totally in control. I want you to picture this. It's the absolute hottest, stickiest day in July. The air is thick, you can barely breathe, and then silence. The gentle hum of the AC is gone, and that cool air, it's replaced by a wave of panic. It is a true homeowner's nightmare, but it's exactly what we're going to get you ready for right now. Yeah, does any of this sound a little too familiar? That moment your AC decides to blow lukewarm air. Or when the furnace gives up the ghost on the one night the temperature plummets. Or maybe it's those crazy high energy bills that pop up out of nowhere. Or the weird smells and clanking noises that just make you nervous. These are the classic distress signals, and we're about to learn their language.
Okay, so our first mission is just learning how to spot the trouble in the first place. I want you to think of yourself as a detective for your own home. Your house is leaving you clues that something's not right with its most important system, and we're going to figure out exactly how to read them.
Right, and like any good mystery, there are always the usual suspects, and when it comes to HVAC failures, it's no different. Turns out most of those headaches and heartaches can be traced back to just a handful of very common culprits. So let's get our magnifying glass out and investigate.
Now check this out. What's so cool here is how a specific symptom often points directly to a specific problem. So if you see water pooling up around your indoor unit, it's almost certainly a clogged condensate drain. Or if your coil literally looks like a block of ice, you're probably looking at a dirty filter or maybe a refrigerant leak. And that thing where it kicks on and off, driving you crazy, a lot of the time that's just a bad capacitor. See? You don't have to be a pro to get a really good idea of what's happening.
So you've done your detective work. You know something's wrong. Now comes the big question, the one that makes your wallet a little nervous. Do you pay to repair the system you already have, or is it time to bite the bullet and replace the whole thing? This is huge, so let's break down how to make the smart choice.
And to help you out, there is a fantastic little rule of thumb that professionals use. It's called the $5,000 rule. And it's just a really quick, simple bit of math designed to stop you from throwing good money after bad on a system that's already on its last legs.
So, how does this thing work? It's incredibly simple, I promise. First, you just need to know how old your system is. If it's over 10 years, this rule's for you. Second, you get a real solid quote for how much the repair is going to cost. Third, you just multiply those two numbers together. The age of the system times the cost of the repair. If that final number is more than 5,000, well, the math is basically screaming at you that a replacement is the much smarter long-term bet.
Let's make it super clear with an example. Let's say your AC is 12 years old. A technician comes out and says the fix is going to be $500. Okay, so you take 12, you multiply it by 500, and you get 6,000. Since that is well over the $5,000 line, the rule is giving you a huge nudge. It's telling you it's probably time to start shopping for a new unit instead of patching up the old one.
And this really gets to the heart of the whole decision, you know? It's all about the trade-offs. Sure, repairing is cheaper right now, but it's often just a Band-Aid on an old, inefficient system that's probably just going to break down again. On the other hand, replacing costs more upfront, no doubt, but it's the long-term fix. You get better energy efficiency, which means lower bills, and you get that amazing peace of mind that comes with a brand new warranty.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about what to do when things go wrong. But what if we could stop a lot of these problems from ever even happening? Well, that's where we get into maintenance. This is the real secret weapon for a long, happy life for your HVAC system.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? I want you to stop thinking of maintenance as a chore or a cost. It's an investment. It's all about a professional finding a tiny $5 problem today before it turns into a $5,000 catastrophe next summer. So what's the goal here? What's the prize for doing all this right? It's all about getting your system to live a full and productive life, which brings us to this number right here.
Yep, 12 to 15 years. That's what you should expect from a system that's been taken care of. But that little phrase there, well-maintained, that's everything. If you neglect your system, you're not just risking a breakdown, you are actively shaving years off the life of one of the most expensive things you own.
So what does good maintenance actually look like? Well, it's this stuff. A pro is going to clean your coils so the system can breathe, check your refrigerant levels, and test all those little electrical parts that love to fail. They'll lubricate the motors, inspect that all-important condensate drain so you don't get leaks, and of course, the number one thing you can do yourself, change those air filters regularly. Seriously, do it!
All right, let's bring this all home. We started this journey with that feeling of panic, right? The broken AC, the dead of summer. But look at you now. You have the knowledge and the tools to actually take control of the situation. You've gone from being a victim to being an empowered, smart decision maker.
So just think about what's in your tool belt now. You know how to spot the warning signs of trouble. You get the whole repair versus replace dilemma. You have a simple, powerful formula, that $5,000 rule to guide you through a huge financial decision. And maybe most important of all, you know that regular maintenance isn't just a nice idea, it's absolutely non-negotiable. These are your new HVAC superpowers.
So I'll leave you with this one last thought. Now that you have all this knowledge, now that you are in control, what's the very first thing you're going to check on your own system this week? Are you going to finally change that dirty air filter? Or just take a peek at the outdoor unit to make sure it's not covered in leaves? The power is officially in your hands.